Yeah, thanks very much, Jessica and Jordan. Open it up for at least initial questions for the end of the recording for anyone who might be listening in, and then we'll finish those up and then go into unrecorded time after the fact. Anyone who has any to start with here?
Yeah, I think I saw on LinkedIn that you guys won an award, a UN award. Is that true? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we actually won the same award last year. So this is our second time winning the award, and it's basically for young, innovative companies that are providing sustainability solutions just kind of anywhere in the world. So we were chosen one of 40 from, I think it was like 8,000 plus companies out there. So yeah, that was pretty cool to win that the second year in a row for us. So especially being such a small company, we're just over a year old. We've got about 15 employees. So it's showing us we're on the right path here. So
yeah, and just to add to that too, I know there's like a virtual event around it this year. I'm not 100% sure what it fully entails, but I'm also pretty sure it's usually in Vienna, but because of COVID, they're doing it online now. But our co-founders, there's 4 of them, will be attending the event. So yeah, super exciting.
Great, congratulations. So just to be clear, I might have missed something in terms of where your company is located and where your markets are.
Yeah, so we're actually located here in Calgary. We have a downtown office, but that being said, honestly, like Europe is one of the places where sustainability is much further ahead than we are. And so we are looking at expanding quite a bit. As just mentioned, we are a startup, so we're only a year old. But that being said, as like we definitely want to do some work here in Canada, but we're also looking to expand as well quite a bit.
I'm curious, has there been much of an interest, like you said you started about a year ago. Has the interest in sustainability increased with the advent of COVID and how people are shopping online? Have you seen that really blow up in the conversations that you're having with people here in North America?
yeah, definitely. It obviously, as Jordan said, it kind of rocketed in Europe a lot faster than it did here. But even I've been working with Arbor since March of last year, and even in just less than a year, we have been talking to a lot of Shopify store owners that are based in the States as well as Canada. And everyone's top question is, I really want to increase sustainability, but like I don't know where to start. I know it's something consumers are looking for. Like it's just a demand out there, but people don't know where to start ultimately. But the conversation has increased tenfold in less than a year from what I've seen. We were doing a lot of user interviews, and yeah, top question.
Awesome. Danica, you've got your hand up there.
Thank you. Just a quick question. You kind of briefly touched on in your last explanation the question asked previously. Is the purpose of the company, are you trying to like support sustainable spending? Or like when you mentioned sustainability, but as a company, how are you approaching sustainability yourselves? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like what we're kind of doing internally as a company.
Yeah.
So we like have a lot of stuff. So as I said, I'm kind of like the internal sustainability guru. I kind of came in all guns a-blazing, educated everyone on things to look for in clothes that wasn't greenwashing. So kind of, yeah, I've noticed like a lot of our personal shopping habits have definitely changed. I know Jordan can speak on that. So we all just like are very mindful of consuming less and also just buying better when we do consume. So we look for, brands that are really talking, like walking the walk, as opposed to just talking to the talk. So you can research brands like Vieja that are, covering the environmental aspect in addition to like the social aspect of sustainability. So we're just ultimately buying less and buying better. And then even in our office, we've like changed up all the light bulbs to like low usage light bulbs, low flow water taps, just things like that. Just being very mindful. We've all started packing lunches. We don't buy out anymore. We kind of pack our own lunches. So really just doing like the small things that we can internally in our company as well.
Yeah, and then also just to add on to that too, like in terms of what we're trying to do for just honestly consumers and businesses is ultimately like Arbor wants to be able to educate consumers so that they can make better decisions, and again, like avoid greenwashing. Like a lot of companies say that they're doing things, but then when we've really looked into it, they're actually not doing anything at all, or like they're kind of making these false claims. And so I think for us, it's super important just to like make sure that everybody's understanding like real information and kind of helping them see past that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see Martin actually put a couple of questions in chat there. He's got 3 separate ones. I'm going to go to those. I'm going to let Manuel go, and then I think we'll go through the ones from Martin just one by one there. Manuel, what's your question with your hand up?
Okay, thanks. Well, I have a question regarding I think I understood now that there are several dimensions to sustainability. Personally, for me, sustainability was always about like the environmental aspect. So try to reduce waste, try to reduce transport routes, stuff like that. But here on one of the slides that you presented, I see like stars that seem to be kind of a rating, I would say, of a showcase product here, and has it says like people, planet, and employees. Now I'd like to know more about the other dimension of sustainability. Is it about well, working conditions, or what is the people's aspect of sustainability?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is like the social ethical side of things. So it's about I don't know if you've ever heard of fashion revolution, but it was this thing that stemmed from, there was a collapse in a manufacturing plant in India. It's called the Rana Plaza collapse, and thousands of employees died in that collapse. And upon inspection, they saw that they just had absolutely atrocious working conditions. People aren't being paid a living wage, and a living wage isn't just enough money to get you through, but it's to cover food and expenses and benefits, like all things that we have here. So there's that entire other side. It's really about making the connection between the products you have and the hands that they come from, and advocating for those people just getting what they should be getting, like safe working environment, a living wage, which it's just so simple. But it's sad that like a lot of people that are creating these products aren't getting that. So it's not just about, cut down on your carbon and don't use single-use plastics. It's also about thinking of the people and that are creating these products, which it's something that needs to be thought of in sustainability for it to be like entirely encompassed.
Because I think in that regard, even in Europe, there's still a lot to do in that regard, like to get that into the conscience of the average consumer. I think that we have the idea of, okay, environment, it's all good, but we don't have in our conscience that the working conditions of many people in non-sustainable industries are actually really, really bad. But thank you for your answer. That enlightened me a little bit. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Martin's questions in the chat there kind of lead into one another. What would you describe the stage that your startup is at the moment? You've been at it a year, and kind of every startup, time doesn't necessarily denote anything when the startup is on its path. So where would you describe where you're at right now?
Yeah, so we raised our seed round last January, and we raised 700K at that point. And then right now, our co-founders did decide to do sort of a bridge round in the meantime, but we are looking at raising our Series A probably sometime around May. So yeah, that'll be like a big moment for us for sure. And then in terms of how the community can help us, and just feel free to jump in after as well, but we're always looking for feedback. We are looking at redoing our website right now. I'm kind of spearheading that one. But that being said, we'll have a new website. Like, we're always looking for feedback on our products, that kind of thing. We'll send our emails here. So if you have any thoughts about anything, like, feel free to reach out. We've got a ton of different people in the company doing different areas too. So like, always looking if you've got, just anything to contribute to the conversation. And then in terms of like the community as well, just like getting into the sustainability community, I can speak for myself. Unlike Jess, I actually was like pretty new to it when I first started working at Arbor. But that being said too, like I have learned so much while I've been here, and it's like had a huge impact in my life. But I think just like getting involved, we have an Instagram that's super like informative about everything, run by Jess. And yeah, so just like being involved in the community and feedback would be how I'd say.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I don't think I read it out loud. So for anyone in the recording, the first question they answered there is what stage are they at as a startup? Second is, are they looking for investment? And then third was the community side.